Alright. Now, if volume of a sphere increases by 174.4%, volume is increased by this much percent, then you need to find the percentage increase in its surface area. Right? Alright, so volume of a sphere. Now there are two cases in front of us. Like volume of a sphere increases. So you will say, ma'am, let the initial radius of the sphere be small r and let the latter radius be capital R. Right? And wait a second, I'm just interested in percentage increase, right? So I can choose my own radius. And in fact, I will not choose the radius in this case. I'll be choosing my volume. Because he says that volume increases by this much percent. Right? So let me choose my volume, which will be easiest for me. Now you can say, okay ma'am, you can take your volume to be 100. But I will not take 100 because I have a 174.4% there. So I'll take my volume to be 1000. Right? So initial volume be 1000 initial. Obviously, whatever you want to call it, 1000 cubic unit or something, whatever. Right? Now, this volume has been increased by 174.4%. That means, कितना increase हुआ है इसमें? That means, I need to add 1744 more in this. अभी इतना increase हुआ है, इसमें add करना, right? So, the later or the final volume should turn out to be this plus this, which is 2744. Right? Okay. Now, I am interested in the percentage increase in its surface area. Right? Okay. So, if I take the radius to be 4 pi r square and then 4 pi capital R square, so I need the ratio. Now, if I need the ratio, what do I need? No, I need the percentage increase. Okay. Fine. I don't need the... okay. So, initially 4 pi r square, then 4 pi capital R square. Percentage increase, so this minus this. So 4 pi r square minus 4 pi r square whole divided by percentage increase with respect to what? With initial surface area, which is 4 pi r square. A percentage increases, so into 100. Right? So, okay, obviously 4 pi gets cancelled, 4 pi gets cancelled, 4 pi gets cancelled. And if I separate these out, I'll get r square by r square minus 1 into 100. Now, I can write this as r by r whole square. Right? So, in order to evaluate this, all I need is this ratio. Right? Now, my initial volume was 1000, right? So, initially, 4 by 3 pi r cube is equal to 1000. And final volume is 4 by 3 pi capital R cube. That is 2714. मुझे क्या चाहिए? इनकी रेशो. तो मुझे इसके नीचे लिखना चाहिए था. Okay, I'll write it. So 4 by 3 pi r cube is equal to 1000. I need the ratio, so divide. Now obviously this and this gets cancelled. I'll be left with r cube, capital R cube over small r cube is equal to 2744 by 1000. Now 1000 is nothing but 10 cube. Right? Now 2744, ये किसका cube है? 12 का क्यूब तो नहीं है, राइट? बिकॉज वो होता है 1728. So 13 का मैं चेक नहीं करूंगी. Let me try for 14. So in fact, it will turn out this is nothing but 14 cube. Right? So this ratio r by capital R turns out to be 14 by 10, or I can say 7 by 5. Right? Actually मुझे 14 by 10 ही रखनी है, मेरी गलती. I'll write it 14 by 10 only. Right, because मुझे वहाँ से 100 cancel out करना होगा, that's why. So I will not change it. Now I want the square of it, so square, which is nothing but 196 by 100. So substitute it. So 196 by 100 minus 1 into 100. Right? So obviously let me take the LCM. So 96 by 100 into 100. Obviously it gets cancelled because I have a small. So answer is 96%. Alright, so the next one. Let A and B be two solid spheres such that the surface area of B is 300% higher than the surface area of A. So two spheres are there, right? A and B. Now, I have to be very careful. The surface area of B is 300% more than the surface area of A. Now, one way is you can suppose the surface area to be 4 pi r square, and then you can take the 3% increase and write the surface area of B. But surface area is in my hand, so I'll choose the convenient option. Now, 300% I'll choose my surface area of A to be 100. Right? Now, 300% increase hona. That means 300% of 100 is 300. 300 increase hona. Right? So that means the surface area of B will be 100 plus 300, that is 400. Right? These are the surface areas. Now, what do I want? I want the volume of A, and this is found to be K% lower than the volume of B. Right? So, volume of A. So, let that be 4 pi r cube. No, volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Right? So, 4 by 3 pi r cube. Right? Volume of B, let that be 4 by 3 pi r, capital R cube. Right? This is found to be K% lower. So, मैंने decrease कर दिया because I know that this is the smaller one. So, this is the decrease. Then the volume of B. Now, the question is, with respect to what? I have to find this decrease percentage with respect to what? It is clearly mentioned in the question that volume of A is found to be K% lower than the volume of B. So, that means with respect to the volume of B. So, now the denominator you will have the volume of B. So, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Right? K% obviously into 100. Right? So, obviously 4 pi by 3 cancel ho jayenge. Sorry, you can take it common and cancel it out. And if I take it, this is 1 minus r cube by capital R cube into 100. Right? Okay. So, I need that ratio. I need small r by capital R. That's it. Right? So, let me find it out. Now, obviously, I know that 4 pi r square is equal to 100. Right? And then 4 pi capital R square is equal to 400. I need the ratio, so let's divide. Right? So, this is R square by capital R square is equal to 1 by 4. Or I can say R by R is equal to 1 by 2. So, just substitute it. So, this is 1 by 2 cube. So, 1 minus 1 by 8 into 100. So, this is 7 by 8 into 100. This turned out to be 87.5%. But मुझे K की value बतानी है. So, K%, so that means K is nothing but 87.5. That's your answer. Alright, so the next one. A cooking pot has a spherical bottom. So, this is the spherical bottom. Right? While the upper half is a truncated cone. So, upper part. So, this is the truncated cone. So, I hope you know how to interpret truncated cone. So, it looks something like this. Basically, it is nothing but the frustum. Right? Okay. So, we understand that. Now, next. He says if vertical cross section is given in the figure, as you can clearly see, if volume of food increases by 15% during cooking, so it increases by 15%, you need to find the maximum initial volume of food that can be made without spilling. Right? So, maximum food you need, but I know whatever food I cook, the volume will increase by 15%, and I have to make sure after it has increased by 15%, still the food doesn't spill out. Right? So, I have to consider all of those things. Now, what is given to me? The radius, basically the diameter of the sphere. Then this diameter is given to you. This height is given to you. This is the radius size. So, obviously that I already know. So, right? So, dimensions are given to you. Now, I have to make sure if volume of food increases by 15%. Right? Suppose the initial volume is V. Right? I know that volume will be increased by 15%. So, V plus 15% of V. This will be the final volume. So, this is nothing but 115 V by 100. Now, this much volume, I have to make sure that it remains inside this cooking pot. Right? So, this volume should be equal to volume of this entire solid. Not entire solid, but entire figure. Right? So, this is equal to volume of this figure. Now, obviously, first of all, it is made up of 2. 1, 2. So, let me talk about the hemisphere first. Right? Volume of the hemisphere is what? 2 by 3 pi. Now, R is what? R is 20. So, 20 cube. plus. Now, I need to write the volume of this truncated cone. Now, I know this truncated cone looks something like this. If I complete it, I will have a cone. So, if I want the volume of this, what I'll do is, I'll find the volume of the entire cone minus volume of this cone. Right? Okay. So, volume of entire cone, dekhe. Ab I know that this distance is what? 20. And this distance is what? 10. Right? And this is given to me 10. Now, if I want to find the volume of the bigger cone, I have the radius, I do need the height. So, already this is 10. Can you tell me this length? Using similarity, I know this is 10, this is 20, double ho raha hai. So, this should be this by this should be double. Should be 1 by 2. Double, it should be half, I should say. Right? So, this is 10, this has to be 10. Because 10 by 20. Right? So, height of the bigger cone is 20. So, height of the bigger cone, so 1 by 3, 5. Radius is 20, so 20 square into height, which is 20. So, into 20 or 20 cubed. Interesting. Minus. Now, if I want the volume of this, from bigger cone, I need to subtract the volume of the smaller one. So, volume of the smaller cone minus 1 by 3, 5. Now, radius is what? 10. So, 10 square into height, which is 10. So, I can say 10 cube. Right? Now, if you look here closely, this and this. ये तो 1 ही नहीं बन गया, 2 by 3 plus 1 by 3. That is 1. So, this is nothing but 5, 20 cube minus 5, 1 by 3 pi into 10, 10 cube, right? So, pi common. In fact, I can take 10 cube also common. So, I will left with 2 cube minus 1 by 3. Careful, 1 by 3 here, right? So, this is 8, right? So, this becomes 23 by 3. 23 by 3. 8 minus 1 by 3. 8 minus 1 by 3. So, 23 by 3. Yeah, I'm right. Right? Okay. So, this is the right hand side. So, left hand side is 115V by 100. So, it's my cut right 20. This is 23. Oh, he cancels. Great. So, V की value निकालने, just cross multiply and you should get the answer. So, V is pi 10 cube into 20 divided by 3. कुछ रह गया? Nice. So, this is the answer. So, if you want to write it, you can write like 20, then followed by 3 zeros. So, basically 20,000 pi by 3. That is the initial volume of the food that can be there, so that after the 15% increase, the food doesn't spill out. That's your answer. Alright. So, the next one. A conical vessel is half filled with water and is placed with its vertex down. Right? So, vertex down, so maybe my conical vessel is something like this. Right? Okay. Now, it is half. The conical vessel nahi rakhte na. Right. So, let me just rectify this. Oh, right. Whatever. Right. So, it is half filled with water. So, that means height of water in the conical vessel is half, right? So, if I take this to be h, so water is filled up till this height, and this height is h by 2. So, in fact, what I'll do is, I'll consider the entire length to be 8h, and I'll consider this to be 4h. Half of it, right? Okay, why will I do that? You realize it. Now, the water is let out with a constant speed. So, obviously the water is there and it is allowed to move out. After 126 minutes, it was found that the height of the water column is 1/4 of the original height. So, after a certain point of time, right, suppose 126 minutes okay, and now, pehle my water level was here, now my water level is here. Right? Now, it is found that the height is 1/4 the original. Now, we have 1/4 new, so let me go in fact lower than that. So, suppose this is my water level. So, now this height is found to be 1/4 of the original height. Now, original height was what? 4h. So, 1/4 of that. That means this is h. Right? Okay, perfect. That's why I assumed it to be 8h. Now, how much time does it require to empty the vessel? Now, after 126 minutes, Earlier it was here, now it is here. Now after certain point of time, it will be emptied out. So after how many times? After the passage of 126 minutes. How much time will it take to empty out this portion of this water? Right? Okay. So let's see. Now 126 minutes में कितना water गया? यहाँ तक तो water भरा हुआ है. Basically in 126 minutes, this much water has been let out. Right? So can you tell me the volume of the water here? Now, what I'll do is, from the big cone, if you can see this, from the big cone, this one, if I subtract the volume of the small cone, I'll be left with the volume of this. Right? Here you gonna, right. So, volume of the big cone. I know the height, that is 4h. Okay. So, अब मैं radius भी assume करने पड़ेंगे मुझे. Right? ये भी radius चाहिए, in fact, ये भी radius चाहिए होगा. Okay. Perfect. अब ये कैसे suppose करें? Similarity. Now, if I take this to be suppose 8 hours, this will be 4 hours. This will be what? R. H. So, similarity. यहाँ पे H, 4H, 8H. यहाँ पे R, 4R, 8R. Similarity. Directly. I should not be explaining this to you. Class 10 question. Right? Okay. So, volume of this part is nothing but volume of big cone. So, that is 1 by 3 pi R. Now, R is 4R whole square into H, that is 4H. Minus volume of this cone, which is 1 by 3 pi R square H. Right? Okay, so is there a benefit? Now, this much volume of water has been let out in 126 minutes. You need to find out how much remaining water is what? Remaining water is this much. That means how much volume of the water? 1 by 3 pi capital R square H. How much time will it take to empty out this much amount of water? That I need to find out. Right? Okay. Now, first of all, let me just get the expression. Let me just simplify this. So, I can get pi by 3 common. I can get R square common. I can get H common. So, I'll be left with the 4 square, that is 16, or I can say 4 cube because 4 यहाँ से दिया minus 1. Right? So, that is 63. 63. Oh, ये तो cancel भी हो जाएगा. So, 21. नहीं, मैं cancel नहीं करूँगी. मेरी मर्जी, this is my life. Right? So, this much volume of water has been emptied out in 126 minutes. Right? This much volume will be emptied out in how much? Now, I know that these two will be in direct proportion. Right? I need to utilize direct proportion. So, divide. And is equal to. I need to find out this much. That I can easily do. Right? So, this and this gets cancelled. This and this gets cancelled. This and this gets cancelled. So, question mark turns out to be 2. So, answer is in 2 minutes, you can empty out the rest of the vessel. So, that means this much portion. 2 minutes is your answer. Right? So, that is it for today's lecture. I hope you noticed that, the junior classes also have some amazing questions on critical thinking. Right? And these kind of questions do come in KVPY. So, please don't ignore these because these are the, I would say the short questions because 6 to 8 questions. Come on, short hone chahiye. Right? So, please pay attention to these kind of questions because we tend to ignore it because we're like, what? We already know this, but these are the important questions because I have noticed that these questions do involve common sense, which is usually not common. So, yeah. So, please pay attention to these. And obviously, there would be a home assignment with this. So, please do that. And that's it. Thank you. And I will see you next time.